in the morning.
So he's advocating a lot more about warming up in the movements as opposed to stretching out.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of always done. How about you guys?
Yeah,
no,
just
I'm saying
minor stretching. Yeah.
I've always found.
I always felt it's weird, like all the warming up, like dynamic warm ups and things.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want to warm up doing the thing you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would just sit in the squat position, like, you know, for counts of 5 and, you know, really take my time with a plate and 2 plates and that sort of thing.
He always did a really good job of explaining things. What I liked about Evan is he talked from his point of view, like how he saw things. And he never, if you notice when you're listening to this, he doesn't say right or wrong, just I have found and I think and what I do.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that better. I can't stand when people want to basically say one thing is the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah. God forbid that, you know, that might not work today where like you must, you know, the only way to warm up is.
The main thing about Evan too is his physique spoke for itself. I mean, you know, that guy walks in the gym and everyone's like, oh yeah, he has bigger legs than everyone here. And so I'm just going to shut up. Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts.
Ooh,
Dusty Hanshaw, the producer Scott McNally, and myself, Big Ron Partlow. Of course, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
There you go. Remember, IamMutant.com, Dusty20, Big Ron 20, save 20%, keep us employed. Yes. And Think Big Bodybuilding Patreon.
Thank you.
Hit the Patreon, become someone special. And keep a producer homed. Okay, reaction video time. We are watching a classic Evan Centopani video, aren't we?
Yes, this is like the old black and white animal stuff. I kind of scrolled in just a little bit to see what we had going on here. I haven't watched it yet. I have to keep the volume turned down at the beginning because it's major like rock music and stuff. So I'm going to have to leave the volume turned down. But look at that sign first of all. Let me just roll that back. Do you remember like when if you were the pro in your area, there would people the gyms would make a sign for you like that. I remember seeing one of those at Brighton Powerhouse for one of our local pros. It was such a cool thing. Yeah. And this is at what's his
Montanari Brothers.
Montanari Brothers.
Yes.
Powerhouse. Yeah, the super gym they call it. And I did a Mutant on a Mission there. I think season 2.
Yeah.
I went to Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut, and I went to this gym and it was awesome.
Yep. I've done a seminar there before.
It's Monday morning. We're going to hit some legs.
Everyone was so cool.
Try to give you guys some.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Some of the things that I've learned over the past 3 years, some do's, some don'ts, and hopefully you find it interesting. Hopefully it's insightful.
And I picked the leg workout.
Let's go in there and get it done.
Good. Yeah, when I went there, you know,
nickname the Ox because that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, see, look.
I can smell this gym. This is what gyms used to look like in, 2010, 2012. This is my jam right. This is my era.
What I decided to do is just get on the treadmill, put the incline all the way up.
The socks.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I will still warm up when I get on the gym floor with weight. But this just kind of everything gets everything moving a little bit looser. More movement in your hips. I feel like it kind of helps to warm up my lower back a little bit.
Now, one thing about Evan that was always crazy was how close he put his hands on the squat.
Yeah.
Like his fingertips are barely holding onto that bar. It's just going to explode off his back.
You see guys sometimes with the bar a bit higher up on their neck, and that's not good. At least I don't think it is. I've always felt like the lower I can get my bar, get the bar down on my back and across my traps, it enables me to keep my back straighter and just puts me in a more powerful position. If that bar is creeping up on your neck, it's going to have a tendency to kind of pull you forward around your back, and your mechanics kind of go to shit, and you're not only less powerful, but it puts you more likely in a position where you might injure yourself. So just make sure you take your time, and I wouldn't advocate really doing a lot of stretching in your lower body. Like a lot of guys, you'll see them stretching out their quads, stuff like that. That I don't know if that's good. I've always felt like that. When I get under the squat bar, or any other bar for that matter. I want to feel tight, if that makes any sense, but not tight in the sense that I can't move, but tight that there's blood and everything is, all the muscles there, and everything is solid, but not like my range of motion is restricted. So if I take the time and kind of warm up with the treadmill, step mill, just get blood everywhere, I find that my range of motion is better and I feel stronger. The time of day that you train makes a difference too. I mean, we're here, it's 10:30 a.m. Relatively early. I mean, it's not 6 a.m., but when you're thinking about it in terms of all night long, your body's dehydrating, your body's inactive. You get up and you train earlier in the day, your body has only had X amount of time to basically hydrate itself, load itself with nutrients, and on top of it, you haven't really been going through a lot of motion, chances are.
Old school squat rack.
If you've been up all day, even if you're kind of a relatively sedentary person, you've moved around more than if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So he's advocating a lot more about warming up in the movements as opposed to stretching out.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of always done. How about you guys?
Yeah, just minor stretching.
Yeah.
I've always found.
I always felt it's weird, like all the warming up, like dynamic warm-ups and things.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want to warm up doing the thing you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would just sit in the squat position, like for counts of 5 and. Really take my time with a plate and 2 plates and that sort of thing.
He always did a really good job of explaining things. What I liked about Evan is he talked from his point of view, like how he saw things. And he never, if you notice when you're listening to this, he doesn't say right or wrong, just I have found and I think and what I do.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that better. I can't stand when people want to basically say one thing is the only way.
Yeah. God forbid that that might not work today. Where like you must, the only way to warm up is.
The main thing about Evan too is his physique spoke for itself. I mean, that guy walks in the gym and everyone's like, oh yeah, he has bigger legs than everyone here. And so I'm just gonna shut up.
He had such a great physique. He was always one, and getting to know him more over time, and then even talking about other people with him, you just realize he's like one of the most solid people ever in the game.
Yeah,
I think that translated to me as a fan, like not knowing him, other than talking to him a couple times. Like you can see that, and I think that's one of the things that everybody has always liked about him so much. He's just like a real, genuine person,
Mm-hmm. Another thing that says a lot about Evan is how long his relationship with Animal has been.
Yeah.
Because, like Dusty and I say a lot, if someone's with a company for a really long time, it usually says something about, their relationship with their ability to build relationship with like the people at the company and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been retired for a minute now, and just, keep signing through. Even when they kind of drop their athletes for the most part, he was not one of the ones named in that drop.
Looked like a pretty wide stance he had there. Did you guys notice that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wide stance, close hands. That's the secret. Everybody write that down. Except for me, because I couldn't possibly put my hands there on a bar at any point during my career.
I remember people used to talk about Evan's stance. Oh, well, I don't know. He's got crazy quad sweeps, so he doesn't need to put his feet close.
Yeah.
And I remember always saying it has nothing to do with your feet. It's the depth of your squat, and that's what matters. That's why he has big quads.
Yeah, knee flexion.
I've never been to this gym, but it's one of those places I would love to visit.
So this is Evan's leg press. He bought this Nebula leg press and brought it into the gym. Yeah. And when I was there getting a tour from one of the owners, one of the brothers gave me the tour.
Yeah.
He said that Evan actually, like all the Nebula stuff that's in the gym was Evan's.
No kidding. That's wild.
You're just like, hey, can I bring this in? Can I leave this here? Can I buy this for the gym?
Sounds like a Dusty move.
Yeah.
I like this. Can I buy it? That's amazing.
bodybuilding and not powerlifting, so make sure you're working the muscle too.
That is, by the way, a phenomenal leg press for anyone who hasn't used it.
Some guys, when they come down, feel like their ass lifts up off the seat, right?
No, that's bad.
If I sit all the way down in this seat, my ass will lift up by the time the platform's all the way down. So I do is just scoot up on the seat. See how much room I've got between my ass.
I learned that from this video. I forgot about that.
No kidding. I've never done that. Still to this day.
The platform comes all the way down. My ass won't lift up off the seat. It'll stay flat against here. Try it, especially for taller guys.
Well, maybe that's why I didn't need to do it.
And by the time you get down to the,
not that tall.
You're all the way down in position. Your ass is up off the seat and your back is rounded and no good.
He's pretty wide on that too.
Yep.
Animal with all the angles, the black and white.
Oh,
He had all those.
fantastic.
You remember? He had all the the food videos and stuff. Like everybody started, I think, using glass Tupperware and considering the water they were drinking.
Yeah,
after
drinking out of
listening to Evan.
stainless steel containers. Evan
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a big part of that whole thing. Yeah,
Evan would be proud of me with my glass water jug here. He would approve, I think.
yeah.
What we're gonna do right here is jump over to a few sets of lying ham curls right now. It might seem odd, because we started basically on the path of doing quads, but got so much pump right now in my lower back, my glutes, my quads, that I feel like shifting a little bit to the hams would be a beneficial thing. Then we go back, maybe superset, some walking dumbbell lunges with the leg press, be perfect. One thing that I'd encourage you guys out there to do, which I found was really beneficial for me, and it's just a suggestion, something you might want to try. Might or might not work, but think of your legs more in their entirety, rather than strictly in isolation when you're training them. I've had really great workouts. Superset quads and hams. Do an extra a quad movement, a hamstring movement, a quad movement, a hamstring movement. And by the time you're done, the whole leg is just engorged. There's plenty of guys that would superset bis and tris, but
It's an old Flex Fitness leg curl.
and quads.
I was wondering. I didn't know what that machine was.
I believe that's a Flex.
Might be cut down a little bit.
I'm getting motivated watching this. Like I said, I can smell this gym, and I love all this equipment. And I seriously want to go train legs, like right now. Like I'm ready to just get up and go.
He just walked out.
Yeah, see you guys.
We have to push stop somehow, so you have to stay.
Yeah, just close up
One
when
of
you're
us
done.
can leave. It's fine.
Until now, I don't want to do walking lunges.
That Evan is his arms are so good that he's in a t-shirt and doing lying leg curls, and all I could see was his arms. I'm like, what is going on right now?
He's got the look like he's not trying too. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I'm just wearing a
He's
t-shirt.
absolutely not trying.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a t-shirt.
You're a bit limited on doing it with a barbell's tough, but also I think the dumbbell is beneficial because it enables you to bring the weight.
All this equipment. Was it like, how many leg curls in a row did I just see there?
Oh, there's like 10 or something.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
just went
It's
down
huge.
like the whole row of leg curls.
I think it was like 30,000 square feet.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
an
huge
amazing
gym there.
gym.
I love that classic picture of Lee on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
From the
Oh,
Twin
yeah.
Lab.
Yeah.
There's
Ads.
3.
On my heels.
Is this a 4th leg curl? Yep, that's a leg curl. 4 leg curls at least right there.
At least for me, I can concentrate on this.
Lying leg curl. To be specific, 4 lying leg curls, meaning they also have seated ones somewhere else.
And this right here, my teardrop always
Oops, I turned that down.
all the pressure higher up in my
Easy.
Sorry.
It's a great movement, to lead into.
See all the extensions lined up? There's like 4 or 5 of them in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully make that movement.
I trained
a little
legs
bit more
that day that I was in that gym
rather than,
too, so-
leading off
Yeah,
with
you
that.
did a seminar there?
Again,
Yeah, with Evan and Jose and a handful of guys. It was super fun.
Oh, no kidding.
on the high hyperextension commit from it.
That wasn't the geared up thing, was it?
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. There was a lot of us there.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure Adam and those guys were there, so it might have been.
I think it was then.
It was fun. It was a good time, and it also gave me a real good feel for Evan, because someone asked. They said, "Why were guys in so much better shape in the '90s?"
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it could be this, or it could be this. Or he goes, or it could be that everyone that says that's full of shit because it's not actually true.
Yeah.
I was like, I just love the way he delivered it. Then finally just finished with like that. That's not even how it is. It was, it was again a reminder to me that he does not care what anyone thinks. Just says what he thinks. Again with the arms. Can we cut the arms out? It's pissing me off.
Okay. You guys must have seen him like all the time, just like regular, just considering that you're on the the expo circuit, he's on the expo circuit.
And Animal was always relatively close to us, so we would always chat with Evan.
Okay.
And he's definitely one of those guys at the booth, Scott. Like he would always be wearing like a t-shirt like that. And he was never going to do like the angle and flex his arm, or he would just stand there and be absolutely massive all the time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I always, from the first time I met Evan, I remember having the impression that like, oh, this is the guy who's going to have like, if he suddenly lost his physique, like if like he just got interested in something else, or for some reason he couldn't lift weights anymore or whatever, it would affect his personality the least.
Oh yeah.
Like he was like the least dependent on
being big. Yeah.
On being big. It just he seemed just had that aura about him. I just thought, it was. I remember I think I chatted with him like very little on Instagram. Like we knew who each other were. And then one year, it was 2017 at the Body Power in England, and I was rehabbing my quad. And he had tore his quad a couple weeks after me in 2016. So we were like quad tear buddies.
Yeah.
And I went over to the booth because their booth was right across from ours. And I was like, hey, Evan. And he's like, oh, hey. And like, that's the first time I think we actually properly met. And we talked about like our quad rehabs and how things were going. And then Dan Green was at the animal booth too. And he had tore his quad a few weeks after Evan. So all three of us were talking about our quad ruptures.
Is that called trauma bonding?
Yeah.
Trauma bond. We had a little trauma bond. And we were all talking about how frustrating it was to try to train, but Dan Green had already squatted 700 pounds already.
Yeah.
And Evan and I were just laughing. We're like, yeah, except for, whatever. Yeah.
Except for this guy.
Yeah, except for this guy, And I remember Evan telling me that he had to train calves before he could do quads, because for some reason when he trained calves, it warmed up everything and like in a weird way, and his quad he could train. Yeah. But if he didn't train calves, his knee hurt too much to train. It was just this weird thing he discovered.
Huh.
But we sort of got to know each other over the quad tear thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I saw and then him, of course, for those of you that don't know, he's been on the show. It's a great episode with Evan. Look it up. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we should have him back on. It'd be cool to get him back on again. I'd love that.
Yeah, especially now that he's welding and shit and making home equipment and fixing up his garage, his basement gym.
His basement gym. I love his basement gym. I like that he actually like hung the walls to make it look old school with like the wood walls. So it actually looks like a 70s gym in his basement.
I love that too.
Yeah.
With all brand new equipment.
I saw him when we were at the the Olympia, not this last year, it was the year before. And he was walking around, and I don't expect him to know who I am, but of course, like I smile at him and I say hi. And so he says hi to me. And I remember he was wearing a sweater that day. He had like a classy
cardigan sweater.
It was like a pullover. And he's like, yeah, I think I made the wrong choice wearing this. And we're just like, it was so hot in there. I remember like it was so hot. He's like, yeah, I just remember him saying that. He's like, yeah, I don't think I should have wore this today.
Yeah.
I love when he wears the cardigans all the time. I'm always laughing.
Yeah.
And only Evan gets to just rocks the cardigans and we're like, it's fine.
I think the last time I saw him at a show, he was wearing like boat shoes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Leather boat shoes. You remember with the tassel on him? I think he had like leather boat shoes on him. he was like, doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Not
Good for him.
Yeah, it's just funny, man. But that's what I mean about Evan, like seeming to be the least dependent on,
any of it,
the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which
Like,
is funny because it's also like he was thought of as being like such a hardcore guy, a guy who didn't have to tell you that he was that hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. And like Dusty said, he would just wear the t-shirt that Animal gave him at the booth. He wouldn't here, I'm cutting the sleeves off. Dusty's doing this.
We
Graham,
always cut
we got to do something. Got to look like we're, got to make ourselves look special. And he would just throw on the stock t-shirt the way it fit. Wouldn't roll the sleeves up or just put it on.
Couldn't roll the sleeves up. They'd tear.
So it was fun. I'd always get a new pair of shoes for the booth or something, and Evan's just like there in his jeans and t-shirt sometimes.
Yeah.
Boat shoes.
And, boat shoes. So he's one of those guys, but it's admirable in a sea of massive egos that are trying to stand out. It's Evan's one of those guys that is not that. So
he has to try not to stand out, and it doesn't work because he still stands out.
Yeah.
So
no, those were fun. I like those old, like that era of YouTube, that 05, 06, 07, 08 era where video would come out and, there wasn't a ton of good content, right?
No, there wasn't.
So a video like that had Evan in it and it was, filmed on a actual camera that was purchased to film video. Like this is before phones were good. So it was like, a good video, and like everyone would watch it eating breakfast, and you'd go to the gym, you'd be like, oh, did you watch Evan's new video today? Like it was a thing. And now of course, the massive ocean of content that comes out. I mean, so much stuff now, and bombarded.
There weren't people that were articulate the way he was, the way he just explained that whole workout and explained what he did. Like I would be in the gym doing those things the very next day, So a video like this would come out, and then that week I would see someone squatting with their hands there. Yeah. And I'm like, Evan's
you saw it too.
And you literally see the ripple effects of these videos because, like I said, there wasn't a ton of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see a video of somebody well known at the time supersetting 2 exercises, and then that week in the gym, a bunch of younger guys are supersetting those 2 exercises out of the blue. And it was
coincidence.
Yeah.
It's much more underground then too,
Yeah.
You're almost still surprised that they saw the video as well.
Yeah. It was like a bond.
Yeah.
You see the animal video?
Kind of like when somebody has one of our t-shirts on. I've seen that a number of times where somebody goes to the gym, they meet somebody at their gym that they didn't even know listen to the podcast, and they're like, oh yeah, listen to Just Bodybuilding too,
Right.
I actually got a message from someone the other day. They were at their gym somewhere in the States, and they're like, I got to get a shirt. I thought I was like your biggest fan at my gym, and then I saw some other kid at the gym wearing your shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was like, I can't let this happen. Right? He's like, this other kid had your shirt on, and I thought I was the guy that listens to your show at this gym.
Yeah.
Right?
That's great.
So, yeah. So it's good to know. Okay. Thanks, guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
IamMutant.com. Keep hitting up the website, Dusty20, Big Ron 20. We really appreciate you guys shopping online for your mutant stuff. Get your all-in isosurgeon. Everyone should get on the gear. And thanks. This has been another It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts.